This is the future.
Today is August 6, 2025. It is 5:52 a.m. I just did a video regarding Sentebale, and now I'm gonna talk about,
we all thought,
what are they? TikTok, bullying, Prince Harry, Sioso. Oh, that should have been on the other video. Okay, I could easily remove it and put it on the other video. There's Megan's birthday. Okay, let's just go to it. All right, I cut. This is where I just realized this one should have been on over here, on this part here, because the first part is talking about the Sentebale here. Damn it. All right, so let's go on X. This is the first tweet. Let's use this one. Damn, I'm kind of pissed I didn't put it along with that video. All right. Prince Harry and Prince Sioso have been vindicated. No bullying, no misconduct. The Sentebale scandal was a power grab dressed up as a crisis. Now the facts are public and they speak for themselves. I was very disappointed. I read the Regulatory. I'll leave the link in this video as well. I feel like they didn't go far enough. They let her go scot-free. She was the one who was going on national TV talking about the issues. But let's listen to what he says here.
So the findings from the Charity Commission investigation into Sentebale are finally out. And let's be clear, Prince Harry and Prince Sioso have been completely vindicated. There was all this noise earlier this year, accusations of bullying, harassment, and even misogynoir thrown around after the two princes and other trustees resigned from the charity. But according to the commission, there is no evidence of systematic misconduct. None. No bullying, no harassment, no misogyny, no overreach from Prince Harry, nothing. This was a charity co-founded to support vulnerable children in Lesotho and Botswana. They gave it 20 years of their lives.
Yep.
And they walked away after what they called a hostile takeover by the new chair, Sophie Chanduka, whose leadership clearly sparked the internal chaos. But instead of accountability, Harry and Sioso were hit with a wave of headlines implying they were part of the problem. Well, now the receipts are in, and they show what many of us already had suspected. The accusations were unfounded. The commission even confirmed that Prince Harry himself did not engage in any wrongdoing. Prince Harry's spokesperson put out a statement basically saying, "We're glad the truth is out, but the damage has been done, especially to the children the charity was supposed to serve." And they're right. This wasn't about reputation. It's about the mission being derailed because of ego, internal politics, and power plays. And the worst part? Sophie Chanduka is still chair. So no, Prince Harry and Prince Sioso are not returning unless there's serious change in leadership. Because you don't spend 2 decades building something from the ground up just to let a snake slither in, start chaos, and then stick around like nothing happened.
Like I said, from the get-go, the moment the issue started, I said they're gonna have to create another one and remove these people. Now, with the finding, with what the commission said, they could use that the advice that the commission gave them. So when they doing a new charity, they could imply it there. And Harry's too nice. I think he trusts too many people. He trusts too many people. The charity is done. Sentebale is done. It's done with. Let's continue.
This was supposed to be about the children, vulnerable kids, no boardroom drama. So now we have clarity. Prince Harry and Prince Sioso did nothing wrong. They were right to raise concerns. They were right to walk away. And now they've been proven right. Period. Vindicated. Loudly.
Yeah, but I feel like they let her go. I don't know.
So the findings from the charity...
I don't know if Harry and Prince Sioso are gonna do another next step or something like that. Then again, the court, if something were to go to court, the court will probably align with the commission. Praise the Heavenly Almighty God, the UK institution governing charities should took its time since March to finally come up with some affirmation. It should have been done under 3 weeks, in my humble opinion. Men winning over a woman, typical. Please. I wish they could take the name away from her. The color me completely unsurprised. Sophie always gave malicious intent and dishonest, probably sent by William too. What a con artist. I was very clear from the start. From what I've seen Megan went through, I know this has absolutely nothing to do with Megan. Well, she sort of implicated Megan in there. If you go back to old videos about the way they... Okay, let me not bring it here. What I wanted to say here, in terms of comparison. When Megan left the US, Canada to go to the UK, where she shut down everything, all the things that used to make her money, her income, from the TIG, her IG account, and she stopped acting, all of this.
Well, I mean, I think also because there's a misconception that because I have worked in the entertainment industry that this would be something I would be familiar with. But even though I've been on my show for, I guess, 6 years at that point, and working before that, I've never been part of tabloid culture. I've never been in pop culture to that degree, and lived relatively quiet life, even though I focused so much on my job. And so that was a really stark difference out of the gate. But and I think we were just hit so hard at the beginning with a lot of mistruths that I made the choice to not read anything, positive or negative. It just didn't make sense, and instead we focused all of our energies just on nurturing our relationship.
On us, yeah.
On us. Really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate, I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility, which I take seriously. And at the same time, I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth. I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do.
Really?
There's a lot to do.
And it's an immense change. You're getting a new country out of it, a husband obviously, but also giving up your
nice.
career.
Yes, that's nice. Yes. But I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
It's a new challenge. It's a new
chapter, right? And also keep in mind, I've been working on my show for 7 years. So we are very, very fortunate to be able to have that sort of longevity on a series. And for me, once we hit the 100 episode marker, I thought, you know what, I have ticked this box, and I feel really proud of the work I've done there. And now it's time to, as you said, work as a team with you.
Her income from the TIG, her IG account, and she stopped acting, all of this. And I was very upset to see she shut all of this down, and then to go over there to help the institution, and then they rejected her and treat her like that. Okay? I was so upset about it. And then the Charles did not want to spend money to pretty much pay her for her work being working royal.
Driving us out into the fields, asked about Meg. Not with great interest, just casually. Still, he didn't always ask, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Say again. Does she want to keep on acting? Oh, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me, doing the job, which would rule out Suits, since they film in Toronto. I see. Well, darling boy, you know there's not enough money to go around. I stared. What was he banging on about? He explained, or tried to. I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. I flinched. Something about his use of the name Catherine. I remembered the time he and Camilla wanted Kate to change the spelling of her name, because there were already 2 royal ciphers with a C and a crown above. Charles and Camilla? It would be too confusing to have another. Make it Catherine with a K, they suggested. I wondered now what came of that suggestion. Meg turned to Willie, gave him a look that said, "You listening to this?" His face was blank. Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet inside the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. Was Pa, with all his millions from the hugely lucrative Duchy of Cornwall, trying to say that our captivity was starting to cost him a bit too much? Besides which, how much could it possibly cost to house and feed Meg? I wanted to say, she doesn't eat much, you know, and I'll ask her to make her own clothes, if you like. It was suddenly clear to me that this wasn't about money. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight. Someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him, and Camilla. He'd lived through that before and had no interest in living through it again.
She shut all of this down, and then to go over there to help the institution, and then they rejected her and treat her like that. Okay? I was so upset about it. And then Charles did not want to spend money to pretty much pay her for her work being working royal. Well, they didn't even consider her working royal. With that being said, with that anger that I had, and the same experience of her shutting everything down, and then looking at her now, right now, things that she's doing as ever, and with her little business she's trying to do and things like that, how well it is being received worldwide, I'm considering this similar to what's happening with Sentebale. All right, let's consider Sentebale is shut for Harry. It's done with. If he put his head together again, because this is someone who has ideas and who create things out of nothing, he could easily create another charity with the same focus and just remove itself from Sentebale. And the same way Meghan's As Ever is flourishing, his new charity could flourish like that. So I'm not gonna feel as bad. The only reason I feel bad is that the charity commission did not really, it's like they let her go scot-free for all the damages that she's done. That I'm a little bit upset about it. However, the second part of it, where Harry just have to leave Sentebale alone. Leave Sentebale alone, create a brand new one. For 20 plus years, he's had, I think it's 20 years, right? With Sentebale, with Prince Yoso, there was absolutely no issues. So he could just start a new one. That's all. God will bless him. Oh my goodness. And nobody's, well, I'm not going to say nobody. At least well-minded individual, similar to, what's that other charity company that used to support Sentebale? Honda. There's an abbreviation. IPS, Honda, something like that, where they step away from Sentebale, but they remain with Invictus. So if Harry decided to create another charity with the same focus as Sentebale, guess what? They will follow him. Because people trust Harry. Alright. Color me completely unsurprised. So Sophie always give malicious intent and dishonest, probably sent by William too. What a con artist. I was very clear from the start that woman was being used to tarnish Prince Harry's image, and it nearly worked. Glad Prince Harry and Prince Yoso have been cleared. This was so unnecessary. Okay, Ian Wallinson, William's henchman. Though it is plainly obvious that it's a style takeover, the dumb, blind, and obsequious royalists will celebrate and refuse to see William for the boo he is. Never forget there is a illegitimate, just not Harry. Royal family deal and lies rarely the truth. Okay, she needs some public humiliation, then needs to resign and to apologize. This is not gonna happen. Okay, we can provide public humiliation, just me. Okay, I'm not gonna be part of that. Let's see. Charity taking from the donors and the children, the current charity helping. This is all about his ego, and this is why he constantly fails. He never learned. This is what he's putting? When was this? They just put that. The Charity Commission has found a serious case of mismanagement at Sentebale, the African AIDS orphan charity from which Prince Harry resigned in an acrimonious dispute. He is now considering creating a rival charity. Okay, I didn't read that, but he needs to create its own. Right, let's see here. Is there a response under that? I don't know. This was set up from the start. Shocking. Sophie needs to resign and stop enriching herself and her family with Sentebale's funds. Yeah, they took the money. We brand new receipt. That's a different language. I read the. Oh God, I can't stand seeing her face anymore. What is that here? Okay, love our content. Have you gone? What is that? And come in stitch. Okay, I don't know who's that. But I don't think the thing went that far enough. There's more people talking about it. Prince Harry cleared on bullying by the UK Charity Commission report on the Sentebale hostile takeover. However, the report is very odd. It totally ignores Prince Harry and Prince Yoso's concern of financial mismanagement by Sophie Chanduka and focuses on her. The dispute should have been resolved and private, and roles should have been more clearly defined. Nothing about a volunteer chairperson's refusal to step down when it lost the confidence of the trustees and patrons. I think any UK body investigating a matter involving Prince Harry will be compromised by other forces where there is a malicious establishment interest. I'm glad Harry will look for other ways to support Sentebale's children, because Sophie and her trustees will destroy it, and I trust Harry will ensure any such new organization is not registered in the UK. That's what I'm thinking as well, and therefore not behold to the UK forces may be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the next one that he create, take the same advice. Okay, learn from that mistake and then don't register it in the UK. I agree with that 100%. Okay, we all knew that Prince Harry was innocent. This does not go far enough, and the person who ruined an amazing charity gets to walk free. Sophie should not be allowed to use the name Sentebale for whatever scam she is running. The former trustees hit at the Charity Commission, saying they ignore key evidence that was submitted. So to me, this smells of a stitch up to ruin Harry's charity. Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, that's what everybody was saying. Because how are you going to ignore key evidence that your chair acted inappropriately, especially with money? Okay? And then all you think to do is make recommendation for governance. Okay, Sophie should be sued. Let's see, there's 2 comments here. Okay, well, I'm guessing he could sue. Okay, he could sue for slander and defamation, as she said it in public and in writing. Maybe in that route they could go. Okay, in other words, getting Sophie out of Sentebale risks her snitching on KP. Okay, the newspaper are still blaming Harry too. My God, so Sophie stays on. How did they settle the dispute? Has she agreed to step down or resign? Where can I find the decision, please? Why can't the princes start a charity with the same mission? That's what I think from the get-go. The moment, go back to some of my old videos. I don't know if it's going to be on this channel, where that issue started. And I said they need to create a new one. I knew it was a messed up thing. The palace is behind this. Yeah, in my humble opinion. I noticed that there is very little mainstream media reporting this, but they were all very quick to point, as it is now confirmed, the wrong finger at the start of it. They intentionally muddy the waters so they can bury the heart of the issue. This is so disgusting. Okay, it was clear, just a smear campaign for a hostile takeover. They think the patron wants to work with Sophie. We knew our good prince was innocent, but it's always good to have the receipt. As far as I'm concerned, whoever sent her allegedly to do the damage, they're done with her. Now, if Harry decided to sue her for defamation and all of that, the palace is done with her. This also reminds me of Ipso. When Harry used to live in the UK, whenever the papers keep on writing BS about him, and he will complain to Ipso, and Ipso will just, you know, let the papers go as if they didn't do anything wrong. And I think that commission just did almost the same thing. And the other thing as well, as I'm editing, I'm thinking for future confidence, I guess, I think Harry should fight this a little bit further because there have been so many people, huge organization, what is it, ISPS, Honda, and other companies have donated or support Sentebale. And I think Harry should fight for that money because if those companies are giving money to his charity and then for this organization, then even talk about the money issue, instead focus on other things, how they should manage the charity and things like that. I didn't read anything where they talk about the money. So because many of these companies who supported Sentebale, they work hard for their money. Okay, whatever business they have, sales and people donate and things like that, those money don't come like that. Okay, so he should fight for the money because of the investors who have donated, who supported Sentebale. That's what I think. I mean, I'm from the outside, and Harry play polo to raise money, and that alone as well. Okay, the players who play with him and to help raise money for the charity and all of that. Okay, he needs to fight for the money and set an example because it's in millions. The charity was doing so well for so long, 19 years. And then this woman come in and then to do that, he should fight for it and then set an example for next because he has Invictus to think about. Let's not forget about that. He has Invictus to think about. Those people want to destroy anything that he has because they want him back. Every single thing that Harry is facing, the institution put him in that position. And then he's flourishing, he's doing well, and they hate that. Sentebale has been doing so well for so long, 19 years. All of a sudden, for this come out, I think Harry should set an example, fight for the money that so many, I don't know, maybe individuals probably donate to Sentebale as well. Fight for the money, set an example for next time because I could see them doing the same thing with Invictus. If they could do that with Sentebale, they could do that with Invictus as well. And if I was him as well, don't register Invictus in the UK. I don't know where it registered. If it is in the UK, remove it someplace else that he trusts. Because these people, it's like a connection. They have it in the US too. A place that he feels confident. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the original recording because there's so much that's going on. They're trying to ruin everything that he does, his reputation, his charities, anything that he's doing, they want to ruin it. I think I'm going to stop. I don't want to talk about Sentebale. I'm going to have to, I don't know. I thought I was going to focus on something else. So I'm going to stop now. Okay? So thank you for watching.
Evolution. This is the future. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.